What's going on, guys? Arekkz here. Welcome back to another video for Monster Hunter World Iceborne. And today I want to talk about monsters. There was a lot of information that went out earlier on this morning. There was a new trailer, there was a load of new gameplay, there was loads of new information from the live stream, there was even a trailer shown during the PlayStation live stream. Basically, there was a lot of stuff. And if you guys missed any of the videos, I will link them down below. I did a trailer breakdown, I did a gameplay breakdown. What I now want to do is recap the 5 monsters we currently have confirmed for Iceborne so far. Now, to be very clear, because I have seen some comments and some people that seem to be confused, this is not all the monsters in Iceborne. Whenever you have a G rank style expansion, there are always lots of new monsters, but obviously they're not going to show all of them in the first reveal. So for any of you guys that saw this and was like, Iceborne's only got 4 monsters, no, this is just 4 monsters they've shown so far. Anyway, with that being said, if you guys do enjoy this video, a like would be super appreciated. Comment down below, let me know which of these monsters, the new ones you've seen or the returning ones, are your favourites so far. And of course, be sure to keep it locked, turn on notifications so you don't miss any of our future Iceborne videos, because there's going to be a lot of them.
Everyone thought it was just a mere myth, but there it is. Velkhana.
Now, turning your attention to Bambaro, who is the new Brute Wyvern and probably one of my new favourite monsters. He looks so fluffy!
He's so fluffy, I'm gonna die!
But also really awesome. He's massive, he's got these hefty big horns. Of course, I've mentioned it before, but I'm pretty sure he is the monster that leads to that Viking armour. So, as cool as he is, I'm kind of going to have to farm him a fair bit because I need that armour. However, from what we know from him so far, he is a new Brute Wyvern. He is a herbivore, so typically, you know, he's not going to be out there eating monsters. He's also quite passive, so a lot of the time you will see him sunbathing or sitting, washing himself in the hot springs and kind of just roaming around the map, minding his own business, doing what he does. However, when you do provoke him, then in combat, he uses his big horns to essentially shovel up anything that is in front of him. So I guess there could be some parallels drawn between, say, him and Baroth when you see him charging. But the main thing with Bambaro is, of course, the way that he can then pick things up with his horns. So if he runs through a rock, he will then grab that, and he can then use that and slam that down, giving you a slightly more concentrated attack. Meanwhile, if he picks up something like a tree branch, it's going to be a much wider, sweepy attack. So trying to dodge that one is, of course, going to be a lot more difficult. And while he might not necessarily be the monster to, you know, initiate attacks, while he might be the slightly more passive one, when it does come to turf wars, he still is a hefty big monster. So when we do see him going toe-to-toe with Bertodus, it does look like he comes out on top. Then again, it might be one of those ones where, depending on where he fights, he may have an advantage or a disadvantage, but I'd be willing to bet in this situation, my money's on him. Moving on from there, of course, we have Bertodus, who is another new monster. He is basically an ice version of Duratados, who is basically a watery version of Lavasioth. So yes, it might not be completely and utterly new, but he does still have some interesting movesets. He, of course, takes full advantage of the thick snow that you see in the Hoarfrost Reach. It's really, really cool to see this kind of thick, waist-high snow that when you're walking through, it leaves these tracks behind you, whether that be you as a hunter, whether that be you as a monster. It's going to make some really cool combat scenes, but he will then swim through the snow, and the only thing you'll see typically is his horn. He's a carnivore, so he is, of course, a lot more aggressive. He is going to be out there eating some of the other endemic life. He'll eat the popo. He'll, of course, pick fights with the other monsters, but he is also weak to sonic bombs. We see this in some of the situations where the greatsword tests out the new move. Mid-combo, it throws a sonic bomb to launch it out the ground so that it's easier to attack, because this kind of brings back those Cephadrome memories where, you know, it's swimming around in the sand and it's really, really annoying to hit unless you bring it out of the ground. So sonic bombs are going to be a must for this fight, and the fact that you can now use your slinger mid-combo with any weapon without having to put your weapon away means it's going to be a lot easier to actually work those into your general flow. Of course, following on from there, we then have a returning monster, which is Naga Cougar. This is a huge thing for Monster Hunter World. Naga has for a long time been a fan favourite, first introduced in Monster Hunter Freedom Unite. That was my second Monster Hunter game. I started on Freedom second, and of course, Freedom Unite was the expansion to that, and Naga Cougar is a seriously awesome monster. It shares a similar sort of skeletal structure to TRex, who we'll speak about in a moment, but he is fast, he is swift, he is vicious. He's got the signature tail swipes where he'll throw them out and catch you from a distance. He's got the fast jumps where he'll leap behind you and catch you off guard. He's got the long tail swipe. There's a lot of moves that, if you've never fought him before, will definitely catch you off guard, but honestly, he is a fantastic monster. He is one of those monsters that will teach you to play the game. If you get to G rank and you think you're good, Naga Cougar will reassess that for you. What's really cool is, of course, if you are a existing fan or you've played Monster Hunter for a while and you're used to these monsters, then of course what we want to see in Iceborne is the Naga Cougar Turf Wars. We've seen him in the gameplay showing up in the Ancient Forest, so it goes to show that even though there'll be a new region in Monster Hunter World Iceborne, it won't just be a case of just spending your time in the ice. You will of course have to revisit other areas, so seeing Naga Cougar going toe to toe with Rathalos in the Ancient Forest, that's really cool, and I want to see who else he fights with because my money's going to be on Naga, alright? He also has some very cool armor. Obviously we haven't seen it in World, but assuming it follows the same aesthetic, then some of the Naga Cougar armor is incredibly awesome. If you guys like ninjas, if you guys like shinobi, that kind of sort of feel, then that's the vibe you're going to get from him. Of course, on top of that, we then have the new flagship monster, Velkhana. This is the monster you see on the front of the box. This is an Elder Dragon, so it's a new flagship that's also an Elder Dragon. Of course, throughout the years, we've had various different flagships. Sometimes they're elders, sometimes they're not. This time it is, and it fills the ice void. Now, they didn't really show much of this. The only snippets we got of it were in the trailer and a tiny bit more during the cutscene, but they did of course say that while it does deal ice damage, while it does have ice attacks, being an Elder Dragon, it's not just constrained to ice, it's not just kind of going to be conventional ice attacks. There's probably like some underlying mechanic to it. There's probably some sort of twist on, you know, just being base ice abilities, and they kind of mentioned that in the cutscene, they kind of talk about how they hear like a song, so maybe that links into the way that, say, all the Legiana are migrating at the beginning. Perhaps it's got some kind of hypnotic song. I really hope not, because if that happens, it's probably going to kind of make you dizzy during battle and then you're going to be stuck, but either way, wild speculation. So, those are the 4 that we've seen confirmed visually. However, of course, if you guys stuck around to the very end of the stream, there are actually 2 versions of the trailer. The trailer they played during the PlayStation or the State of Play live stream, and the one they replayed at the beginning of the official Monster Hunter live stream, just finished up with the date. However, if you stuck around to the very end, like your post-credit sequence, the same trailer played, but at the very end when they showed the date, there was actually a signature roar. This one. This is unmistakably a TRex roar. TRex is and has been for the longest time one of my favourite monsters. Ever since first fighting him in Freedom Second, he taught me to play the game. He was one of my biggest challenges when I first started this game, and honestly I've loved him ever since. He's got incredibly awesome armor. He is very, very aggressive. He is, again, similar skeletal structure to Naga, only I'd probably go as far as to say that he's more aggressive. He just, when he gets into his rage state, you don't want to be around, trust me. He's very, very angry, and he will hit hard. And when he roars, if you're too close, you're probably going to get sent flying. Point is, he's very cool. For those of you that don't know anything about TRex, he is a flying wyvern, typically weakest to thunder and dragon. He's got some moves where normally if he's in the snow, he will slam the ground and send snowballs flying towards you. He's got fast tail swipes. He's one of those monsters where when you first fight him, he might not appear that fast, you know, in his kind of normal state, but the second he gets into rage mode, it's like he suddenly gets like a NOS boost because, yo, he becomes super fast, he will turn on you very quickly, and he will send you running with your tail between your legs. But yeah, he's a very cool monster. He's one of the ones that I said in my previous video on monsters that I want to see come into Iceborne. He is one of the top that I really wanted to see, and to hear his roar makes me so happy. I can't wait to actually see him in game, and of course they did say there'll be more information for Iceborne in June, which is E3. I'll be over at E3, so of course if there's any more information there, whether it be trailer, whether it be hands-on, whether it be gameplay, I will be bringing that to you guys as soon as possible. For the time being, that is a look at the 5 monsters we currently have confirmed in Iceborne so far. Remember, that's not all of them, there will be more, so let me know in the comments down below who else you really want to see, and of course, keep it locked, we've got more videos coming your way very soon. I really hope you guys enjoyed that video. Remember to hit that subscribe button and also click on the little bell icon to turn on notifications so you don't miss my next upload. Also, don't forget you can check out 269 and Paradise Central streaming over on Twitch 6 days a week. You can find a link to the multi-stream in the description box down below. Be sure to drop by and get involved. Thanks again for watching. Take it easy. Catch you next time. Peace out.